Hello, and welcome to Leapfrog Industries video series. I'm Robert Coslado, the Chief Technical Officer at Leapfrog Industries, and today we'll be showing you how to install a whole house water system made by Leapfrog Industries. Our Green Advantage systems remove particles down to 5 microns, will remove chlorine, heavy metals, toxins such as petroleum products, herbicides, pesticides, anything that you might find in a typical municipal water system. Today you're going to see Leo, our head installer, installing this system step by step to help you understand how to do it yourself should you choose to do so. Your Leapfrog system should consist of the following packaged items. You will have a filter canister similar to the one here, which will contain a 5 micron polyspun filter, which is 4.5 by 20 inches in size, that fits inside. You will have the main filtration unit and conditioning part, and then the second unit, which is all together for you as you assemble them. So you should have at least these 4 items in your setup. To install your system, you should first find out where your water comes into the home, as in this case it's right here. It comes through this little gate valve. Now our system today had an existing soft water system, so this has been pre-plumbed for us in a 3/4 inch system. Looking at the plumbing, although it is dirty, there are no leaks and no problems with the system. And up here you'll find the pressure regulator. For our systems, we like to have our systems pressure below 90 psi, and your system's water pressure regulator should be working. It can be tested with a gauge or replaced with as you're installing this. Beyond this, you'll notice there's a mechanical brass bypass already placed in. This is a 3/4 inch system. It was placed in by the soft water company that installed the previous system. We are leaving that in place since it functions and there's no need for the extra cost. Should you have a brand new system, we will be providing you with this exact type of bypass system. You will not have the pipes extending out from the top of it as those what was connected to the original system. We'll be removing those and replacing them with a copper female iron pipe thread, into which you will be placing the male fitting, allowing you to glue the remainder of your plumbing to the system. Coming back from the system, you will also be doing that on the other side, coming up and replacing that also. As we're progressing, you'll notice that Leo is pre-cutting every piece as he goes along. Not gluing them, just placing them into position and making sure that he will have everything in its proper place prior to final installation. So we're finally working through that part right now and carefully making sure each piece fits. The good thing about PVC, make a mistake, just cut another piece and continue working. But remember, do not glue, pre-cut prior to the final installation. The top of your filter housing has an in and out indicator. Make sure they are correctly positioned for the system to work and function properly. We have the bracket, the wall marking bracket, set upon the top of the filter canister. You'll notice we have a few pieces of bushing and the adapter to our plumbing. It has not been set, but we're first placing the bracket onto the cap of the filter house. Simple tools such as a pipe cutter can make your project go easily and quickly, and well worth the investment. Nice clean cuts. When assembling any threaded pieces in our system, we highly recommend using both the Teflon tape and the Teflon putty for assembly to prevent any possible leaks in your system after assembly. You will find that if you use the Teflon tape and the Teflon putty on the threaded pieces, they will easily be screwed together. One note of warning though, because it's much easier to assemble them when they're done this way, you must make sure not to over tighten and possibly fracture any of the pieces that you're assembling. Use care and caution, but it will be done easily. When assembling plastic PVC pieces, it will be required for all your parts that will be assembled together to first be primed with a primer. We use clear primer, and it clears off the oils, waxes, and protective coating on the pre-made piping. This is the best way to prepare your pipes prior to gluing. Now that all your ends are primed, all that's required is to glue them together. Again, you'll have to place glue on the inside portions and the outside portions of all contact points. We prefer to use clear glue so that there's no glue on the outside when we're finished. This will make a nice, clean fitting. You notice you'll twist them a little bit as they go together, and this will make a secure, glued end with no leaks. When you will be inserting the coupling into the control head of the vessels, please note no force is necessary. Just insert them, and once in position, all that's needed is the clip to be put in place, and that will lock it into position. No force is necessary. Using a level can help assure that all your plumbing comes together correctly.
Water out of the line, I'm going to connect my shop vac, which is a wet and dry shop vac. It's going to help me siphon the water. So the next step will be cleaning your existing copper pipe. The reason why I'm cleaning and sanding the pipe is to take out any debris or any buildup that's on the outside. That will allow me for a nice solder joint.
Not only is the old copper required to be cleaned up, the new copper will require a rougher surface for better solder bonding. So all new surfaces must be sanded to create a rough surface. Next, you will need to place flux on all surfaces to be bonded. This will create a better surface for all solder to adhere to and assures no leaks in your soldering for the future. You can do this on the ground or in position, but remember, flux is critical for a good solid bond after you've sanded all the surfaces.
Soap and water, basic. The reason for that is to not to leave any excessive flux on the pipe. Flux is a type of acid cleaner where if you leave excessive flux...
On the bottom ones you can see what happened.
Yeah. When you leave that and you don't wipe it down, all it takes is just soap and water.
Just like that. It is now time to take the filter and put it into the housing. Please note that the housing has a guiding nipple at the very bottom. When the filter is inserted correctly, the filter itself will be flush with the top of the housing. Now take the entire housing and screw it into position. Only hand tighten the housing. Do not over tighten using a tool. Doing so will flatten the O-ring and cause potential leaks into the future. It is now time to double check all your glue joints, all your solder joints, and make sure that they are correct and holding. Open all valves of the system to make sure that water will flow correctly. Open the water valve and allow water to come through the system. We recommend you open a cold water tap of your bathtub to allow water to flow freely for 5 to 10 minutes to clear any debris in the system. Please note we put a check valve on our return line to make sure that our system is protected from high pressure. Also, please note to check all plumbing codes in your area to verify that you are installing correctly. Thank you for buying the Leapfrog Green Treat system.